There we go. He's only about 50 meters from where we left him in the morning. And it is Tingana. Still looking quite hungry, so he hasn't had any success during the day. And there are some waterbuck not too far away, but lots of open ground between. But it's a good spot to lie and wait, because you never know what might wander along the dam wall. We often have impala and all sorts coming through here. So, as I said, he was quite hungry this morning, so it might be worth playing the patience game this afternoon with him. Now, it's amazing how much his territory has shrunk in just over a year. So he had massive amounts of territory. Okay, let me just get my bearings correct here. A very big welcome to Macy. He's a brand new viewer. He is a boy. He's a big boy. Well, he's not in the best condition. He's quite an old boy as well. And he used to have a large territory. But unfortunately, as he's got older, younger males have moved in and sort of put a lot of pressure on him. So, I don't know if we can... How's that work for you, Vim? Is that okay? Okay, so that little blue dot is where we are now. But, so Tingana's previous territory basically used to encompass, go out like this. His whole territory, it goes further than that. His territory used to encompass from, how am I going to do this? Let's think now. From down here where my finger is, all the way around like that, up into that fence line, across to the north, all the way down south here, all the way down to the Kruger boundary, and then down and around again back. Now, his territory has shrunk from that massive area to basically where we are now, this sort of small square just like that. And he's got Hukumuri pushing in from this side, and he's got Quarantine pushing in from this side and this side. So he's lost the majority of his territory in the last little while. Well, he's still in the same spot. And his head's up. So he's a little bit more alert than he was when you last were with us, which is always a good sign. As we know, he is quite hungry at the moment. Times have been tough for the former dominant male. It's going to be interesting to see how long it takes for Quarantine and Hukumuri to start pushing into this area as well. I think it's just a matter of time before they do. As I said, he is hungry, Julie, but he can still go a good couple of days, maybe even a week without a kill. Often when leopards are hungry like this, they will eat lots of little things that we might not see, like terrapins and squirrels and dwarf mongoose and other little sort of tidbits to just keep alive until they are able to catch sort of something a bit more substantial. And he's a very flat cat at the moment. So I heard he did come into Chitwa camp during the day. He actually had a drink out of one of the guest room swimming pool. So if he does have any parasites, maybe the chlorine will sort him out. And as you can see, he's found a nice spot down behind the dam. There's quite a few little things around. There's some waterbuck, there's some impala, there's some bushbuck I saw a little bit earlier, all very close to here. So there's lots of opportunities. And specifically, if you just keep still here, you might get lucky enough that something might just stumble onto him or into him. And that would make his life a lot easier, of course. And at the moment, he's a very tired kitty there. Now, of course, the main reason that a leopard has spots or rosettes is for camouflage. But Katie's saying, what's the advantage of spots over stripes? That's an excellent question, Katie. Well, leopards need to, or they occur in such a varied range of habitats that spots and rosettes are more sort of useful. It works in desert, it works in forest, it works in savanna. Whereas tigers, I suppose they do have a relatively varied habitat but mostly forests, I suppose savannas. I'm not sure, Katie. I think they both work, and leopards just seem to have rosettes rather than spots. Rather than stripes. We are next to the dam here, so we might, if he doesn't move, we'll just might have a look at what's happening behind us for a little while. Now, of course, the nice thing about being around here is that Hosanna might make an appearance at any moment. Well, it seems like Steve's found a bird for Draw a Bird Day. Well, I just got some good news that I've passed on to Steve, that there is a male lion apparently visible from the boundary, Gowrie Main with Gowrie Main. So that's good news. So he's going to go see if, I'm sure Steve will see if we can find that male lion. Tingana, however, has not moved a muscle. So let's maybe try move around, get a different view of him while he's still snoozing down there, now that we're the only people here. Patience pays off when it comes to big cat sightings. So not the best view of him. Let me just try if I can get a little window for VM to see his face. I think it's about as good as it gets, VMP. Now, Child of the Universe is asking about females' sexual selection of males. They don't really they're not too picky. They will mate with any male that is dominant and in the area that surrounds their territory. Now, they won't mate with young males that are not going to hang around, but they will mate with any dominant adult male who holds territory, even that holds territory outside of their natal home range. And that's so that if the male happened to take over from one of the other males. The fact is that this male might believe that the cubs are his. There we go. So he's hungry. There's lots of food around, and also, of course, staying here is always good because Hosanna might make an appearance to come harass Tingana as well. Poor tired kitty. Okay, well, it sounds like Steve is on his way to look for some lions, so let's go join him. He is truly still a very flat cat. So we are hoping he is going to get moving at some point today. But it is still quite warm, and as I said, he was quite active today. He went into Chitwa Lodge, he had a drink in the pool, he tried to look for some bushbuck in camp and went to visit the staff village. So he did have a bit of a busy day after we left him this morning, but he hasn't moved very far in total. Oh, yeah. Sorry, just the radio's going at the moment. So as you can see, he's still sleeping. Okay, well, he continues to nap. Let's send you back to Taylor. Hopefully he'll be up on the move shortly. Fighting off some gremlins. Hopefully he'll be back with the incredible Nkuhumas soon. As you can see, Mr. T is still an absolute flat cat. Almost looks like he's really, really enjoying his late afternoon snooze. There's a strange noise I've been hearing, and I'm trying to figure out what it was, but I actually think it's wind going through the tower. Did you hear it, Finn? Wah, wah. Anyway, looks like we'll be okay though. It's very, very peaceful here at the dam at the moment. With a very, very peaceful big cat. He gets moving shortly. Now, he's quite an old leopard, our Mr. T. And Safari Kid, his ear is mostly, even though it's probably could have been from a few scratches from a fight with another leopard, but most of the damages to his ear are made by a very small species of fly called a stable fly, and those bites on his ears actually cause the older leopards that have had the bites for many, many, many moons to actually become quite affected by it, as you can see. If we could have a look at the back of it, you would be able to see quite clearly the damage that those flies have inflicted on the leopard's ears. He's a very, very relaxed kitty at the moment, though. It's always nice to spend quality time with the cats, even when they are snoozing rather than being active. And you've got to spend the long hours with them to get that incredible activity from time to time. Because otherwise, if you rush off too soon, you're not going to see that incredible behavior. How old's Tingana now? 12. I think he's around 12. Amsterdam, life expectancy of a leopard, a wild leopard, can vary quite heavily. We had a male called Mvula. I think he managed to survive to about 14 as he sort of evaded the other big males, including this one. But generally, between 12 and 14 is the life expectancy of a male leopard in the wild. And then life expectancy of a female is generally a little bit longer, maybe up to 15, 16. But he's been pushed into a very small area now by 2 other males. So he's sort of at the retirement village here next to the dam. There's lots of food around, there's lots of water. He doesn't have to move too far to get everything he needs. Okay, we're going to wait here a little bit longer to see what happens, and let's go see Steve, who's got the smallest member of the order Carnivora, to see the big cats of Africa. And we are still sitting with this male leopard. His name is Tingana, and he was the dominant male in this area. He is now under huge amounts of pressure from Hukumuri and quarantine, so he's shrunk. His territory shrunk enormously. The moment he's looking a little bit hungry, he's looking a little bit worse for wear. He's had a tough couple of months, and he's lost probably 3/4 of his territory in the last year to other male leopards moving in. But he is still one of the most beautiful cats I've had the privilege of spending many, many hours with. Hi, Steph. Steph, we are currently in the Sabi Sands Game Reserve, which is about 60,000 hectares, about 150,000 acres. We are sitting on an exquisite property called Chitwa Private Game Reserve, and there are different sizes, but Chitwa's probably got traverse of around 10,000 hectares or so. So you're able to traverse and in a day very easily see all of Africa's big 5. Isn't that beautiful? Zwase animals in the Kruger are not tame at all. They are wild, but they are habituated to the use of vehicles. So if you were to get out of the car, he would probably run away and or behave aggressively. So they are used to the vehicles. However, they are still 100% wild. The greater Kruger ecosystem is 2.7 million hectares, over 5 million acres of unfenced wilderness.